Hi guys, and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 248. Is XRP a good investment? Tokensoft distributes 4 million in equity, and Travala and TravelByBit merge. Now, if you're catching this stream live, welcome, and if you're catching the replay and have any suggestions for us, please leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you're thinking. Now, if you want to be up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep on chatting with us, once the stream is done, you can join us on the Discord. Links in the description. So is a link to all the amazing articles that we cover here on this awesome stream. Now, thank you for joining us tonight, this awesome Thursday night. I hope you're having a great time. Hope things are going extremely well for you guys. And that you didn't get wrecked so hard with Bitcoin going down, right? So we're going to talk markets, we're going to talk news, right, first, then we talk markets, and figure out where things are going to go, or could potentially go from where we're at right now. So let's get on to that other good screen where we do all the magic on the stream, right? There we go. So on Twitter that we're live, and yeah, so we're here. What's happening? What's happening, guys? What's happening with crypto, right? This article's the first one, so I'm not going to go too much into detail. There are a little bit of news from yesterday. By the time I do my cuts, I hadn't seen some of these, but you know, I do have cutoffs to look at news. And then whatever doesn't make the cut, it just usually comes into the next episode. Now, this one I'll talk about it, right? It says that the Bitcoin mining difficulty drops by 6% in first adjustment after halving. Now, Bitcoin network just fine-tuned a key parameter to coax back miners who quit after last week's halving hammer. The profits of more than 20 exahashes per second of computing power, the equivalent of around 1.5 million older generation mining machines, have been switched off from Bitcoin since the network is halving. Now, the 7-day rolling average of Bitcoin hash rate has dropped over 20% from around 122 exahashes per second just prior to the halving on May 11th to now 97 exahashes per second. The once in 4 years event reduced miners block rewards from 12.5 to 6.5 Bitcoin per block. Now, the hash rate drop after the halving has significantly outrun the hashing sprint prior to it, and as such, Bitcoin's mining difficulty, which measures how hard it is to compete for block rewards, decreased by 6% to 1.14 trillion at 2 in the morning UTC on Wednesday, in the network's first bi-weekly difficulty adjustment since the halving. Now, these news were brought up yesterday by, I think, Bitcoin Jake kind of talked about them. I'm not sure if he talked about them here on the stream. Sorry, I dropped something. I'm not sure if he talked about them here on the stream, or if that was something post stream and I saw it somewhere else, but he posted it. And look, there are ways that people are seeing this, right? For example, Kevin Sang, right, director of blockchain strategies at Greenwich Generation, says, "Believe that the halving drew closer. Miners in China did a sprint run of mining, even with older generation machines, to make the most of the last days of the higher block rewards," and that could be true. Also, Alejandro Torre from Mining Pool-in agreed with that, right? Says that that's what we saw, those sky-high hash rate figures. So again, it could be that yes, some miners did turn on all equipment to get that last minute, profit at the higher levels or the higher block levels. But again, right now they're switching them off because they're no longer profitable, right? They cost too much to run. That being said, I think that's good about this article, right? And we'll figure out how this will keep on going, right? We talked about this being a possibility. Hey, Troy, how's it going, man? Hey, for joining us. We talked about this possibility happening. We talked that, and we said that miners would potentially switch off equipment because they're not profitable, and that they would likely go out and sell whatever Bitcoin they have to make their operations go through. Hey, Bitcoin Jake, how's it going, man? Thanks for being here. So again, it is a real possibility that, you know, we could still see more price action to the downside on Bitcoin. Still yet to be determined. We'll talk about that though once we get to the technicals, and we'll talk about why not, what could potentially happen, right? But again, that's that for this article. Then we also had this one, right? Price dropped 7% in an hour after Bitcoin sees a ghost. This is also from yesterday, talking about that those 40 Bitcoins that were moved from a wallet that no one knows, right? You will enter a short at 9,020. Okay, cool. Good luck with that short, man. I hope you're doing good with your project of longing and short in the market. Bitcoin Jack also talked about this, right? Yesterday, he actually posted it here. He said that Satoshi's money was being moved. We don't know if it's really Satoshi, but it's this first mover, right? Bitcoin rattled by transfer of Satoshi coins that might not be Satoshis. Now, exactly, we don't know who owns the wallet for sure. But the fact is that someone moved 40 Bitcoin from a wallet that has been dormant since 2009. And apparently, the coins in these transactions were mined in the first month of Bitcoin's existence. So yes, it wasn't Satoshi, right? There's going to be a lot of speculation on this as to who moved them, why they moved them. Certainly did shook the market. I'm not sure why people get scared when like 40 Bitcoin get moved. Yes, it is quite some money, right? I mean, $391,000, not a small amount, but we've seen bigger moves before. So I don't believe this is part of the reason why the market dropped, as they're being, or this article seems to lead us to believe, right? Bitcoin rattled by the transfer. No, it did make noise. A lot of people started to talk about it. And then we also have this one, right? Price up 7%. It's not because of that, right? We had technicals for movement to the downside, and we kind of talked about them. Sorry, I got a Twitter link here from Bitcoin Jakes. What? Yes, man, I guess. I don't like you opening the links from YouTube. It's just so freaking weird, man. There we go. Oh, yeah, you posted this one, right? 9% the identity of the miner of Log just moved. The identities of other early miners, excluding Satoshi. Yeah, so a lot of people, right? So, yeah, you posted that on Discord. We don't know who really moved this, right? I'll make this a little bit bigger for you guys. There you go. Could it be? Maybe, man. Maybe it was him, right? Justin Trammell. Yeah, I'm not Dustin Trammell. I'm not sure who he is, man. So, I'm not sure why he would have moved this, or why he's moving this now, right? Why didn't he move it when it was worth 20,000? Did he lose his keys and just remember all of a sudden where to access his money? Like he had sold his old computer where he had his wallet, and he had to go hunt it down and like get it fixed so he could withdraw those 40 Bitcoin, right? I'm not sure what the history is here, man. But again, the fact is that like really old Bitcoin, right? To prove that CSW doesn't own an address that he listed on the court cases. All right, that's cool, man. So there we go, right? It solves that issue. Because I actually replied to you, and I said that Craig Wright was that one that moved it, right? And you said that was funny. Yeah, because I was just trolling with that comment. I said, you forgot to mention Craig Wright. Okay, cool. So if he did that, then we already know it for sure in effect. And everyone knew that Craig Wright wasn't even Satoshi, right? Even, what is this guy's name? Fuck, I forgot his name, man. Tone Vase, right? He was wearing this shirt in front of Craig Wright in a panel saying, everyone's Satoshi except Craig Wright. Exactly, right? So again, trolling the guy around. So again, yeah, we know this got moved. Again, thanks for bringing clarity into this. I didn't really delve too much into it. I mean, so it wasn't that large of a sum. I just thought it was funny. And I just wanted to follow up on it a little bit. So I didn't find anything new on articles when I was looking through today. So everything I found regarding this was from yesterday, except this one, right? So again, but it didn't quite say. See, no matter who moved the coins, right? So again, like no one was sure even on this article, like why the coins moved. But if it is for the reason that you say, maybe it is, man. Next article, right? Tokensoft distributes $4 million in equity to investors using Ethereum blockchain. Now, this is cool because it really brings a strong use case for Ethereum. Now, Tokensoft, it is a digital securities platform for enterprises and financial institutions and has used blockchain tech to distribute equity to investors in a $4 million funding round. And this is pretty cool because this could certainly set up a precedent for funding and shares to be distributed via a blockchain solution, right, or a crypto solution. Now, the seed round was commenced in July 2018, and it was co-led by Base 10 and eVentures with Coinbase Ventures and Fidelity affiliate Avant Ventures also participating. Now, the investors received a digital representation of their investment based on a simple agreement for future equity or SAFE model on the Ethereum blockchain using an ERC 1404 token to ensure that SAFE agreements will be enforced on chain, and the ERC 1404 standards is used for accounting and compliance purposes. So again, they're not getting the equity right now. It is you're gonna get the equity, but it entitles you to that, right? It's gonna be vinculating. Now, investor Melton the Mirrors basically has been working with Tokensoft since 2018, and he said that while many in the industry speak of the benefits of digitizing private capital markets, Tokensoft has actually done this with its own shares. I have the ability to hold shares in my wallet, receive dividends, bids, or offer shares, and gather real-time market data that facilitates price discovery. So again, this is going to be pretty cool for companies. According to the company, investors in Tokensoft equity can or will soon be able to benefit from real-time authenticated access to ownership information with the provenance of transactions recorded on the Ethereum blockchain. In addition, investors will receive real-time periodic dividends payments in the form of dollars through integration with Signature Bank's digital payment platform, Signet, as well as DTAX, a Securities and Exchange Commission registered transfer agent. Now, when activated under the SAFE agreement, shareholders will have access to a secondary market where they can buy and sell their shares. So again, you're going to be able to transact and sell your shares to other people directly. So they're, to some extent, they're going to take brokers out of the market, which is going to be pretty cool, right? But you're going to have to be finding the problem here is that you're going to have to find a shareholder that's willing to sell their shares at the price that you're willing to buy them. So it's still to be determined how they're going to flow these shares. I mean, they're probably going to have to put them on the market. But again, I do believe it's interesting that equity right now is being traded on crypto, right? This is probably the first company that's doing it to this extent. And it could start, like I said, could set up a big precedent for companies in the future to issue their stock on crypto. And then you're going to have to really be careful with the wallets, because who knows how much. Imagine it was like 1984 and there was crypto around, and all of a sudden you bought Apple, and then later on you bought Amazon and Google and all these big companies that like went to the moon, and you forgot your wallet key, man, or you lost your wallet. That would really suck. So this is gonna be really huge, man. But again, it has that potential that if you're not careful, you can lose that. Anyways, next article, right? Now, this I like. It's from the Daily Huddle. I'm not sure how legit this article is going to be, but it poses the question that we have on the image on the stream, and it says, is XRP a good investment? Yes and no, says Ripple Josh Lin. Now, Josh Lin is a senior talent source at Ripple and says it is unclear whether Ripple's efforts to boost the XRP ecosystem will boost the price of XRP, right? Fatty, how's it going, man? Thank you for joining us. Again, the ecosystem will boost the price of XRP. In a new Quora response, Lin approached a direct question on whether XRP is a good investment by drawing a line. And he begins by saying yes and no. Let me explain. He says he's confident that in his team at Ripple, as well as the legitimacy of the company, is bringing to the cryptocurrency XRP, but he's less certain whether those moves will actually impact the crypto market. Ripple is driving more utility and volume to the XRP ecosystem, which in theory should increase the intrinsic value of XRP, but whether the bid and ask price will reflect that, I have no idea, right? And that is something that we're talking about. Bitcoin Jake saying we still got 10 plus years for global adoption. All the old people stuck in their ways just keep stacking. Yeah, I'll explain that in a little bit more once I finish the article. Anyways, Lin is also unsure about the future of the regulatory environment surrounding XRP's native currency. There is still uncertain whether the SEC will rule XRP to be a security of Ripple. And he says, as of when I'm writing these anyways, because he's quoting him, because the crypto sector is still nascent, there are a lot of regulatory uncertainties. Lin says he allocates a small amount of capital that doesn't keep him up at night to 5 different crypto assets. He allocates other 95% of his portfolio to investments opportunities that he says currently offer a better risk-reward profile. There are more asymmetric opportunities in the world today aside from crypto, and these are opportunities that yield 5 to 10 times returns and they currently offer better risk-reward profits. Uranium, anyone? That's also in the quote. Than crypto, since the crypto market is still so nascent. So, okay, cool. Back to Bitcoin Jake's point. We still got 10 years. Yes, we still have 10 years. Keep on hodling. I would say, and because this for me is gonna be something that I'm like still trying to fight this day. I told you guys I have an experiment. I have a hodl bag of XRP that's not doing good, and I have a bag of XRP that is for trading and that is doing good on the trades, right? So a lot of people in the internet are gonna tell you to hodl, to keep on adding to your position, and that is gonna be very dependent on what position they're in when they start to hodl or add to their position. If you started to buy XRP back when it was like fractions of cents or even cents or below, like let's say 10 cents, probably hodling strategy has been good to you because you're still having good value, right? You're still 100% over your initial investment. But if you're in another position where you probably bought at $3 and you're still hodling, or you bought at like 35 cents and you're hodling, you're probably right now hurting. And that's when that's when we have all these arguments of whether or not you should hodl. And all that comes to how early of an adopter were you, what your entry price was, and then you can determine if hodling is a good strategy for you or not. Right now, you can add to your position, yes, but in the other hand, if you add to your position right now in XRP at 20 cents and it goes to 10 cents, would you be glad that you were hodling? No. Would you be glad that you were trading? Probably yes, because if you trade, you will be able to sell and then buy more at a lower rate, so you would have a larger position of XRP by the time that goes up. So again, is it a good position? Is it good to hodl or not? It really depends on your strategy and your outlook for the project and how much are you willing to stick with it over the long term. Now, the Bitcoin Jake does make a point that we still have 10 years plus to go. A lot of the projects right now can disappear in 10 years from now, right? A lot of crypto projects go to zero. They never move again. There's way many more cryptocurrency projects being added to CoinMarketCap. I think there were like 5,000 plus. There's not even that many real world currencies around, right? So again, things that we got to look at, right? Anyways, Fatty saying first bag I got was at 4 cents, and Troy saying Bitcoin will be fine long term. Yeah, look, if you can guarantee that, or if you believe that Bitcoin will be fine long term, that's good, and that is your way of viewing it, right? But again, there's still going to be a lot more technology that's going to start to come out, and at some point in time, Bitcoin can become so expensive that people would be looking at other alternatives to add to their position, thus rendering Bitcoin a little bit less useless than other people, right? Than other crypto, sorry. Now, do I think XRP will be used one day on mass scale? Look, they're trying, right? They're trying. They're coming out with these models. They are getting use cases. But what they have is like kind of set in stone right now. They have certain limit on transactions. I think it's 1,500 transactions per second. They're still like trying to get adopted. By the time they get adopted, what's to say that there's another coin that does it for even far less than what XRP costs, which is already very cheap, and like super fast or even larger transaction scale per second, right? So again, will it be used long term? Yeah, I mean, they have the right connections. I don't think they have the right leverage, right? They know the bankers, they know who to talk to, they know where to go, but they're not pushing the right, they don't have the right leverage to have them flip the levers that they need for them to start using XRP right now, right? Connections are very important. Yes, connections are very important, but also remember, connections go away. Anna Botin from Santander, who knows, board members maybe get fed up with her. She goes away. They put someone else in. They're going to have to start making relations with that new person. She might go to another institution, which would be good, could be bad. Who knows? But again, connections are good so long as they are where you need them to be, when you need them. If the connections are not there, or they get shifted, and the new person is maybe a fan of Stellar, say bye-bye to all the progress that you had, or a lot of the progress. Or you might start to encounter a lot of roadblocks ahead that will give the other competitor a better chance. So again, yes, connections are good. They are doing the right thing. They're mingling with the right people. They're creating the right connections. They're not exploding those connections yet, and they need to start doing that. Again, MoneyGram gets money from XRP, from Ripple. Sorry, they get an XRP payment for them using the software, right? So XRP is paying them to use it. They like it, yeah, but if MoneyGram was believing in the project, they would be holding the XRP that they get, but they already stated that as soon as they get the XRP, they turn it into dollars and they sell it out. Why? Because for them, hodling is not a strategy. For them, they need the money because they need to report it in their quarterly earnings, and they need to turn that into hard cash, right? Cash that they can use to pay salaries with the money that is being accepted right now. Unfortunately, or however you want to see it, right now, the currency or de facto currency for a lot of things is the US dollar. So they need to turn it into dollars so they can meet their obligations, right? And maybe also even make their proper tax declarations, because they probably need to report how much they're getting from this. So they have to have a set value and not a value that today is worth something and then maybe a year from now is worth less or more. Now, like I said, I want to address the whole point of, is hodling a good strategy with this? It's very, it goes to every person, right? Anyone that is investing will tell you that whether or not hodling is good or bad, depending on their experience. And like I said, when you got in, how the market's being with you. If you get in at $3 and you're hodling, you're probably hurting like crazy. But if you get in at 4 cents, like you did, Fatty, you probably don't really care what the price is at right now, because you're still making a profit. So if you're not at that position where hodling is good for you, or the project's already taken off, then maybe you should consider that maybe trading could be a better strategy, because then you can buy and sell and increase your position every time the price goes down. But then you can also be buying and selling. You don't have to be locked in on, I'm never going to move this money. I have it locked in a wallet and I'm going to store it in a bank until like death do us part or the end of the world comes, and then we'll see how much it's worth. It's really subjective to any person, right? Everyone is going to have a different point. And I want to say this because there's a lot of channels out there that encourage hodling, and there's a lot of channels out there that encourage trading. I encourage both because it depends on your strategy. So I'm not going to be an XRP moon boy or a Bitcoin moon boy or anything by telling you guys to hodl, add to your position every time you can and never trade it, man. Just keep adding and adding and adding. No, because I don't know what your circumstances are, right? Maybe trading is a good strategy for you. Maybe hodling is a good strategy for you. What will the price be in 10 years? Dude, if anyone had a crystal ball and they knew, we would all be following that strategy. No one knows, man. There's nothing to say that Bitcoin crashes, right? Where's the price of gold going to be in 10 years, man? Gold has been around since the dawn of time, right? Why is it not worth more than $1,000, right? Like $1,700. Why is it not worth $10,000, right? It's a physical good that you can buy and sell. It is all based on whatever people determine that is going to be worth, right? It is not, it's just for jewelry, and maybe it has a value once you process it and you do all the work to make it something good and beautiful. But why is it not higher? Because the supply or the demand is not paying higher for gold, right? People are not paying higher. Why are they paying high for Bitcoin? Right now, it's a hot thing, right? It's a hot commodity. But what is it from saying that Bitcoin will not go down farther and maybe never get to 20,000 again? I don't believe that, right? I do believe it's going to go higher. I'm just trying to drive a point here. That right now we don't know where the market's going to be in 10 years. It is a very young market. You're asking me to double the age of the current market and gauge where it's going to be. We don't know where the market's going to be in 10 years. We don't know where the market's going to be in 2 years, man. We don't even know where the market's going to be in 1 year. Last year, they were getting predictions that the market was going to be at $100,000 by the end of 2019. Or the market's going to be at $200,000 at the end of 2019. That is just people inflating people's egos and expectations that the market's going to go crazy. That's why I tell you guys, take it a day at a time, set up a strategy, trade. You might have a different outlook, and that is fine. That's what crypto's about. You can have your outlook. You can hodl if you want. You can keep on adding to your position as it goes down or as it goes up, or however you want to trade this, but that is entirely up to you. Don't follow other people's advices as to whether or not you should hodl and start like massing up quantities of other cryptos. Do what you believe is good for you. Anyways, Bitcoin Jake saying Bitcoin is up like 1,000,000% in 10 years so far. Yeah, Bitcoin can be space money. What else could be? Any currency, man. Like I said in an earlier example another day, think about the dollar. You don't, sometimes, most of the time, you don't even have cash with you. And all you do is just transfer digital money from one account to another, right? You swipe your card, you're not really physically giving people a dollar, right? You're just using a means, the card, to transfer digital money from one account to another. All we do is move balances digitally, right? So again, any currency right now could be used in space, right? Back to the Future made that example, right? Back to the Future 2, when he goes into the future and they ask him to donate for something, and all he has to do is put his finger and transfer, and funds get transferred. It wasn't Bitcoin. It wasn't any other currency. It was just regular money being transferred digitally, right? So again, the use case, I do believe Bitcoin is going to gain more popularity, and it's going to keep on growing in value as more people hear about it and more people get interested in it. Yes, I do believe it's going to go up at some point in time. Just the point is that you guys should do your own research. You guys should have your own strategy as to how you want to play the market. Don't let other people tell you what you should do, right? Or don't fall for those people that are saying with titles that, oh, Bitcoin 75,000 tomorrow, Bitcoin 100,000 5 months from now. All that is just clickbait. But I could do that and probably drive a lot of traffic into this channel. I just think it's unethical to do it because we don't really know where the price is going to be, right? And whoever gives that projection, I don't see why people are still believing them when they don't meet the expectations that they create. I do believe that we need to come down a little bit to earth and set up better pricing strat or better projections to where assets can go, and not just go, oh man, it's gone up so much in the last year, next year it should be here if this repeats itself. Yes, you know how many factors can go wrong in 365 days? Way too many. And for something to repeat the exact same way, it's never gonna happen, right? So a lot of people make bad projections. A lot of people make bad calls. Like I said, we have not even been able to get above 10,000. Right now we're retreating to a lower level because we cannot get above 10,000. So let's first get above 10,000, then worry about getting to 14,000, then worry about getting about 20,000, and just set up small milestones, right, that we should be achieving for the price to keep on rising, and not just bring a lot of hype into the market by saying it's gonna go 230,000 or $3 million Bitcoin, man. Right? It's not gonna happen that quick. It's gonna, if it ever happens, it's gonna take so much time, man. Anyways, like this, Good Dollar Wallet launches with 100,000 coronavirus relief packages. That's pretty cool. Henry Cole putting a little bear. Anyways, that's just something I want to talk about this article. I think I just spent too much time on this one. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Binance backed crypto travel firms Travala and TravelByBit merge, and this could be pretty cool. Booking services Travala and flight booking website TravelByBit both are which accept currency payments on crypto, announced they're gonna merge, right? And that is according to an announcement yesterday on the 20th. Travala and TravelByBit will merge to become a platform allowing users to book from over 2 million hotels and 600 airlines. Both of the companies are backed by Binance, and Changpeng Zhao praised the firms as he believes they are able to provide a state-of-the-art travel booking service for the crypto community. Now, Travala currently supports payments in fiat and over 25 of the cryptos, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Binance Coin, and Binance US Dollar, and features a best price guarantee. And the platform also has its own AVA token, which grants users access to bonuses and discounts that shortly will be available on TravelByBit as well. As a Travala spokesperson said, as a native cryptocurrency of the Travala.com platform, AVA can now be used for payments, receiving loyalty rewards, and accessing exclusive discounts and bonuses as part of our SMART program. Every time a booking is completed on Travala, your traveler gets 2% of that total booking price back in AVA. So you're getting some kind of token back. A representative of the firms told Cointelegraph, that the merge platforms is forecasting the next 12-month revenue levels in excess of $10 million based on the existing growth traction in travel bookings prior to COVID-19 travel restrictions being put in place, right? So again, that's the articles. I'm going to move on to the technicals. I know you guys are probably waiting for the technicals because Bitcoin has gone down. So we're going to move on to the technicals, right? Just let me play this very small intro, set up things here on the side real quick, and I'm gonna be right back. And we are back, guys. Thank you for staying with us. I think this is the longest I ever spent on the news part only. And damn, dude, like there's some things that I like. I do believe that we need to say them, right? Particularly that people make a lot of promises on crypto that have no fundamentals, right? That they have no real technicals, and just put crazy projections out there, man. Just be careful. Set up your own strategy. Don't believe what other people say. I've known people that gotten screwed by people saying hodl, and they just hodl to an asset, and those people that were hodling the asset at first, they were promoting the hodling, sold at the tops, and they didn't tell the people that they should sell also, right? They just kept on telling people hodl, and some people that don't even have the assets anymore, they just keep on saying hodl, and you know, that's just unethical, right? So anyways, what is happening with crypto? Going down 4.50%, right? Yesterday. Today, stagnation, 0.03% down. Approximately 81 million out right now. Yesterday, $11.63 billion moving out. Right now, sitting at 246.84% of market cap. Sorry, $246.84 billion of market cap. Bitcoin dominant, 67.46% of market cap. Moving down yesterday, 0.28%. Today, down 0.01%. Again, getting a little bit of indecision. Losing the 20. Titans of the Boundary Bands coming in for dominance. The price of Bitcoin at $8,988.42, man. Do you guys remember when this hit $10,000 a couple days ago? A lot of people on Twitter saying it's the last time to add on before $10,000, man. We'll never see prices below $10,000 again. You get all these crazy people jumping in and just doing like false claims, man. Anyways, breaking below support, right? We're sitting right now at another support that I have here, right? This white line at 8,983. We're very close to it, 8,997. So on this chart, we're hitting support and trying to bounce. What is happening with Bitcoin on other charts, right? Yesterday, we talked about losing this area. We talked that we could lose the 20. And if we lost the 20, we talked about going lower, right? And I even said, look, we could lose this area here, which is the 786, at 9,087. We talked about potentially revisiting this area. And what happened? We rejected 9,565, right? Look at this. We have a wick to the upside rejection and moving down. Now, on that movement down, we created a little bit more negative momentum, right? So now the only thing I can look at by seeing this, right, and the good thing is that we are a support that could potentially help us resist a little bit more of the action to the downside, which, like I said, is potential, right, is that we're creating a hidden bullish. It's not even that strong of a divergence. But again, we're making more negative momentum as we're going higher, right? So low, higher, low, negative momentum, more negative momentum. On the other side, we're going lower. Neutral at 51.69. Now, there's talks that Bitcoin had a golden cross, and yes, it did had a golden cross yesterday. I haven't been looking at the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 moving averages or exponential moving average to determine if we're going to get a golden cross. I've just been mainly focusing right now on potential bounce of the 20, right, and taking it a day at a time because the market has been so volatile lately, right, and we've seen so much indecision going on. Again, this movement, I wouldn't worry too much about it yet, right? Look, high, right? High, lower, right? Slightly lower. Low, higher, low, right? Again, we could start tightening in a triangle pattern here, right? Something like this. I'm not going to pinpoint it right now, but we could start to do something like that. Or even we could still go lower and still be making a triangle, right? A large triangle. Once, if you guys remember, and I have it out here in some charts, we were within this large triangle that started back on June and ended on, when did we finally break out of the triangle? Because then it became a descending triangle, right? So we ended up breaking on November, right? So from June to November, we were within an insane triangle. There's nothing saying we cannot start making a triangle here, right? Again, something else that I was looking at while I was offline. I haven't looked at logarithmic scale also lately. And by looking at log scale, we get a different picture of where the market is. Right, let me go on this chart. See, this line would be touching perfectly the bottoms on regular scale, right? On linear scale. are the bottom of the channel, right? Not the wicks. If I were to shift over to the wicks, which we could, it would give us that we're breaking or basically just barely holding to support, right? So again, if I go to log scale, we're gonna get something similar, but I do believe we also get it by going with the bodies, right? Not just the wicks, but going to the bodies, which is better on log scale. I believe we get better touch points, and we can see that we're hitting support, right? So we're hitting support. We're creating a hidden divergence. We're also sitting at a fib node that we know we could hit a bounce of that. So that's just giving me a smidge of hope that we could see a potential movement upside and potentially target the 20 again on the daily, or maybe even the 9,500 area. Although I'm not calling it at that yet, right? So let me get rid of log scale, and like if you can see log scale, when I shift that, this completely moves, right? And it doesn't make sense anymore. So again, I'm gonna go with the bodies and believe if we go with the bodies here, we still have a move to the downside that we could hit and maybe hit support. And again, all this information, like I told you guys, depending on how you look at the market, you can find way too many things to look at it and find. If you look on log scale, you have support, but if you look on the linear scale, you're not hitting support. If you use the wicks, you have support, but if you use the bodies on linear scale, you don't have support. So again, what do you want to look at? It just depends. Again, I can point out the stuff, but you guys have to make your own minds as to where the market's going to go. If I go like this, I do believe I'm buying the market movement to the downside or reach to the downside still for another drop and get a bounce, right? And if I go tighter, I would be hitting a support, and I would be expecting a bounce to happen, or at least to hold that area and maybe start crawling along that line, right? So under 9,000, yeah, it's under 9,000, man, barely, 8,993, right? So again, if you guys remember, I got out of my position. I took a loss, a small hit. I went in at 9,680. It went up. I didn't cancel my position. I told you I had a bad feeling. We're creating divergence on the shorter scales. And then it started to tank, and I barely got out at 9,670. I did still take a hit. It was a very quick drop, but I saw as it was dropping, and I was able to fortunately get out without taking a much larger hit on this. It could have been horrible. I could have waited for a bounce here of the 20, which we kind of started to get, I think, and then we just completely dropped from there, right? So again, that's it for the Bitcoin on the daily, right? I want to talk about the log scale. I want to talk about what's happening, how we have support, or how we can find support, or know where we're hitting at support. But also keep in mind, right? We're hitting a support that I had, that 8,900, sorry, and we're below the 20. So you're moving to the upside would potentially test the 20, and below here, I mean, I would believe that the next support could potentially be 8,800. We've seen to have hit that area a couple times, and then from then on, maybe down here at 8,199, right? Maybe we could find something here at 8,500, but again, let's wait for this to keep on moving, right? Let's go to the 4 hours and see what's going on. On the 4 hours, remember how we were talking about this potential triangle? I think we drew this one yesterday, and then we started to like scale it, right? Like I think we were here yesterday and we were drawing the triangle. I can't remember exactly when we made this crude drawing of a triangle, but if I take a measure move of the triangle, I believe we hit it, man. Spot on, right? So this gives validity to the symmetrical triangle we had posted. We just broke out of it way too early, right? Usually we mature a lot into the patterns with Bitcoin. Here it seems that we moved down, we hit that area, right? Sitting at 8,800, right? And again, like I said, it could be a potential support. And when we broke out, right, from low to high, right, to the triangle. Look at that, man, beautiful. Beautiful, hitting that area that we needed to hit and starting to get a bounce, right? So again, very, very nice play here on Bitcoin, right? Getting that nice movement. So again, we hit that, we hit the measure move. Now we're starting to retreat a little bit. Getting above this area, it's good, but getting much higher would be much better. Again, we got expansion on the Bollinger Bands. We started tightening yesterday. We talked about that, I believe, getting tightness of the Bollinger Bands and maybe getting expansion from this candle. Again, everything started happening in the morning, right? 7 in the morning, we started to tank, or 8 in the morning, somewhere around 7 to 11, we started to move down. Again, low, lower low, more negative momentum, lower on the RSI, hitting sold at 31.01, right? No other technicals to call here. Now, if you remember on the 1 hour, I left something open. I left a little reminder on one of the charts, and I do believe it was this one, maybe. No, this one? Yes, I left this one, right? Remember how I said yesterday we could go down, but there's nothing stopping us from going farther down? And I was looking for this divergence, and I told you wait for it, right? Look, man, look at where we were at last night. We were here. we were here. I told you guys we're being weak. We're probably gonna move down, and I'm waiting for divergence to develop. We moved down. We created the divergence that I was looking for, but we just were too weak, right? We tried to round off and then just took a movement to the downside very sharp. We were really unable to even rally to the 20. So again, seeing this, and like I told you guys, you probably, if we create divergence, you probably want to wait to get above the 20 and test it to make sure we're not going to reject, right? So again, we talked about this yesterday. So we knew there was a potential of going down. And I said, if we go down, there's nothing stopping us from going down farther. And I also said, if we go and hit the 20, there's nothing stopping us from running through 9,500 and 9,600. That we know it's another support on another resistance on this chart now. And we knew that we could expect those moves, right? That's something that we did discuss, man. I swear we discussed this. So, anyways, we knew there was a potential that the market could go down, and we were waiting for the divergence. Now, on the RSI, we didn't create that divergence. We went much lower, right? So it didn't really much matter that how low we went. Now, from here to here, we're going much lower with more negative momentum and also lower on the RSI. Do we have something to call yet? No, this is just a bounce, man. We're getting a bounce in the market. We have to create divergence for this to go up. That's why I said that we could potentially go down. Now, going down would certainly mean... see, on this chart, we hit that 786 at 9,087, right? And we're rejecting higher prices. So what we could expect potentially again, and this potentially, right, that we could still come down here, create divergence, and then maybe get a pump, right? And it would look something like that, maybe, right? Because it's not looking like we're high right now. It's too risky to trade. You're out. Well, yeah, man, it is a risky time. For who was it? Troy was here earlier. I'm not sure if you're still with us, Troy, but you said you were looking to enter another short at 9,020. I hope you open your short. We're below 9,020, so I'm not sure if you were able to open your short, but if you did, power to you, man. I know you're. By the way, for those of you that don't know, one of our viewers, Troy, is on a mission. He's on a mission to get to one whole Bitcoin by trading. I think I can't remember how much you stated that you started with. I think it was $100, if memory serves. But Troy, I'm not sure if you're still with us. But Troy is trying to get to one whole Bitcoin by trading, either shorting or long in the market. I believe that's what he's doing. And I'm not saying it's impossible. When I told him that, I just said it's going to take time. And it is true. It's going to take time. You have to be very well calculated in the market for you to be able to know how this is going to move, and then potentially start making higher profits or quicker profits that can get you closer to your goal, right? So again, good that you're doing it, man. I'm glad. I hope that you're able to really pull this off, and we'll be here rooting for you, man. Anyways, like I said, right, moving down potentially, we're being a little bit weak. We're still below the 20. We haven't tested it, but we're rejecting that 786. So again, waiting for this movement to happen, right? I wouldn't be surprised if this goes farther down, and I'm not liking where Bitcoin's at right now. Let's say it's not the strongest, but we're still in an area where the bulls are still in control, right? So again, any climb on the market also has pullbacks, right, and movements to downside. So if you look at the history of Bitcoin from when it started to right now, it has had major movements down, but it's still in a main rise overall, right? So again, just a food for thought there, right? Just because it's moving down doesn't mean that we're like going all crazy and the market's gonna burn in hell. There's still a lot of things that can happen. Anyways, sold on the RSI at 36. We did hit oversold at 15, but we got that very nice bounce coming in with this candle. And again, we're kind of resetting the oscillator, so there's really nothing for us holding us from going farther down still, right? So I haven't done this yet, but if you guys like what we do, hit that like, that bell, and that sub, right? Anyways, yeah, that's it for Bitcoin. I'm gonna want something else. If you guys want me to round back to Bitcoin later on, I can do it. But right now, I think I'm gonna talk about Ethereum, man. What's happening with Ethereum, right? Yesterday, lost on, man, 0.99. Today, losing gaining 0.1%. Sitting at 8.94% of market cap. The price of Ethereum at $197.74. Where do we go, man? Areas that we knew we could hit, right? we talked about this. We talked about getting to 193 potentially if we were too weak to sustain this area up here at the 618 at 210.23, right? Or whatever this area is, 210.23. And we did, man. We moved down. We also almost went to the 50%, which we also said if we break 193, we're probably going to hit that 50% and try to get bounced. We got somewhere in between this area and got the bounce, but we're still closing above that 193. So, again, we know it's a good support for us there. Now we're going higher with less negative momentum, also more or less neutral on the other side. Sorry, slightly less. 50.3449. All right, so I will trace this one, right? Just because we have it. So what we have right now is hidden bullish, right? Again, we could still maybe come down here, still have that bullish, that hidden bullish at a support, and maybe try to get a bounce. Again, I'm not over optimistic, right? Yesterday I painted you guys the upside and the downside, and I told you, I even put lines saying the market's gonna move down. I was hoping for divergence to develop and that it would be strong enough to get us higher. That's why I told you going like a potential in would be if it went above the 20, but it didn't, man. It just stayed below. It was too weak, and of course we just moved down lower, right? So again, look here, we had bullish, right? We're calling this hidden bullish. What happened? What happened, man? We tried to rally, and we hit resistance, and then we started to crash, right? We knew yesterday at this time that we were hitting resistance, or that we were gonna hit resistance, and at the 20. But look at this, beautiful, man. We can just trace that to there, right? Low, higher low, negative momentum, more negative momentum. Even now on the RSI, right? High on the RSI, lower on that RSI. Creating this hidden divergence, right? This hidden bullish divergence. So that's it for Ethereum, sitting sold at 32.14. So let's go to the 1 hour chart. What is happening on the 1 hour? We called this one out on the 19th, so 2 days ago, bearish, right? We broke down, we tried to rally, we hit the 20. We were here, what did we said? We hit the 20, we're gonna do what Bitcoin does. We weren't strong enough, we didn't even have divergence. We just moved farther down, and that was exactly what Bitcoin did, right? That was the same move that we called on Bitcoin, and that we were waiting for Bitcoin to make. And I even said it on this coin, we're probably gonna move down, we're probably gonna create divergence and try to rally from there. We tried to rally, but we failed and we pulled farther back down. So again, no surprises, man. Really, no surprises by looking at the market today and looking at where we're at. We moved farther down again. We hit this area of support. We broke it briefly, but got back above it again quite quickly, which is good, man. That's good. We want to see supports hold. But like I'm telling you guys, I do believe this can still go down. It's too weak still. And we could maybe hit the area, the 50%, and maybe create divergence there that's bullish and try to get that rally to come in at a good area for retrace. Again, still yet to be determined, right? Let's play something else. Sold at 36.20 on the RSI, right? Nothing else to look at, right? Going lower with more negative momentum, lower on that RSI, trying to recover, waiting for magic to happen here, right? That's it. I'm not sure how strong this positive momentum is going to be yet. We don't know. This could just go down the next 2 candles, and this goes down, like I said, and then, you know, go like that. And then we create divergence, right? There we go, something like that, right? And then we go in here, like that, and then we go in here also, right, like that. And then we could create divergence and maybe try to bounce from there. How strong of a bounce is going to be, I don't know yet, man. It depends on how strong the divergence that we develop is, right? If it's strong divergence at a support, we would be hitting a resistance right ahead, right at 193. So again, not a lot of, not looking too good right now for Ethereum. And Bitcoin. And let's go look at XRP, man. It's one of the ones that was losing the least yesterday. I think Bitcoin did move quite a bit. Let's look at the daily, man. How much did it move down yesterday? 4%. Ethereum moved down, I think, a little bit less than that. Oh, sorry, more, 5%. I think XRP was holding good when I looked at it. 3%, man. It didn't lose as much. But again, XRP has not recovered as well as the rest of the crypto market. So if it would have lost more then, I would say we're in trouble, because then it's losing, it's bleeding a lot, but it's not recovering like it should with the rest of the market. It just bleeds when the market bleeds, and it hemorrhages but it just never recovers, man, right? And that's something that we've been seeing happening with XRP. Anyways, where are we at? Going slightly lower on the daily. Yes, man. Well, we're going sideways apparently right now from this low. So finally, something I do like. Again, we're in this area. We lost 197. We also lost 100. Sorry, not 197. We lost 19.758. We also lost 19.440. Right. Again, right now XRP is sitting at 19.243 cents. Where are we at here, man? Again, moving sideways and going in. Right, creating medium bullish divergence. Right. Yeah, and on the RSI we're going lower, so we don't have anything against the RSI. Now, just against the MACD, we're creating this divergence that could potentially bring us up. Look where we're at, man. We opened right at this area and we try to wick above it, but again, now we're gonna face these areas again as resistance. We used them as support. Now they become resistances, and we have a couple resistances up ahead. And we know that this triangle is it's full of supports and resistances. This rectangle, sorry. Let's wait to see where it wants to go, man. Again, XRP is not gonna move on its own. Unfortunately, it's not a free-flowing coin where it's independent of the market and it can do its own thing. It has not decoupled from a lot of the coins. Everyone's gonna move to whatever Bitcoin does, in some extent, right? Didn't lose as much as Bitcoin, but had the same movement on the market. It would have been good if Bitcoin went down and XRP went up. Yes, it would have been amazing. But it's not going to happen right now. Again, Bitcoin is leading the charge as to where we're going to go. Sitting neutral at 42.21. Now, where are we at here? We had this divergence, right? We called it bullish. Look, we tried to rally. We hit resistance, right? At 20.339. We hit the 20. And then we moved down. Again, we were live here. We were talking about that. Potentially not breaking above this. And lo and behold, we didn't, right? So I do have stuff here showing up from the daily, I believe. This should be, yeah, from that time frame. Yeah, the daily. Send it back to the daily, man. Send it back to the daily. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, and then we're hoping that this divergence would get us too high. We didn't, so we're moving lower, right? More negative momentum, low, lower, low, more negative momentum, lower on the RSI. Again, the only thing I can see right now, and it's very, very small, right? We're going slightly lower here. We're going very, very slightly higher here on the RSI, creating some strong bullish divergence. It could give us a potential for a movement to the upside, but yet still to be determined, right? Again, if you guys like what we do, hit that like that button, that sub, right? Again, sold at 31.25. Let's go to the 1 hour, and let me just make sure I anchor this in the 4. Yeah, it is anchored in the 4, but it was going to go on the daily, right? Before, there we go. Let's go to the 1 hour. What was happening on the 1 hour? Last thing we called was bearish. From then on, we didn't have much going on. Did this get higher? Yeah. When was this? The 20th at 8 in the morning, I think. Yeah. I didn't call this one because we had other islands, right? And I do believe we were slightly higher, 8. Yeah, so 98. But again, these islands are being separated by one small. I mean, we could have said that from here to here we're going higher, and that from here to here we're going lower, and we're creating strong bearish divergence. Yeah, we could have said that. But we had a lot of positive momentum islands between. So I wasn't... When we have that, sometimes you don't want to do this, right? Because you do have data here that's pointing different, right? This is still higher than this. So from here to here, and from here to here, we're not creating that divergence, right? We're not. So they're both upsloping. So again, it depends on how you want to look at the market, right? That's why I tell you guys. I can point out the stuff for you, but it's on you how you interpret it and how you want to believe the market's going to move. Again, we moved down, hit the 20, rejected. We moved further down, just like we were expecting with the other coins. With this, look, we even did it as support, man, and we were not strong enough to hold it, right? We didn't have it on the other side. Try to get a bounce. We're weak. We're following Bitcoin, and we crashed with the rest of the market. This is 9 in the morning. Bitcoin moved at that same time. Now lower low, more negative momentum, lower on the RSI. Try to get a bounce, hitting the 20 and rejecting. Not even the support is rejecting us, right? The previous resistance. The 20 is rejecting us, right? We're weak to get above the 20. Positive momentum dying out, sold at 36.59 on the RSI. Again, if we move down, we could come down here at 18 area and hit a bounce. We could come up here and face resistance. Farther down, we'll probably have some support here at, and that's probably what we hit from way back here. right? And on the daily, we know we have previous support also, right? We have support here at 16 cents. We have support here at 14 cents, and then here at like 13 cents. So we know areas where we can hit support, right? Anyways, let's move on to Litecoin. What's happened with that Litecoin dominance? Yesterday it gained 1.04. Today it's gaining 0.12%, sitting at 1.12% of market cap. The price of Litecoin, $42.40. Did it move down? Yes. Did it break the 20? Yes. Again, same movements as Bitcoin, right? Low, higher low, less negative momentum, higher on the RSI. We don't have anything to call. At 44.16, neutral. We had bearish divergence. We talked about that. We moved down, hit the 20, get this nice bounce on bullish divergence. From then on, we tried to rally, failed, and moved down, right? When Bitcoin moved down, all is happening to the sound of Bitcoin. So moving down again, making more negative momentum, even more than before, or less than before over here. I wouldn't consider this island. It's just too tiny. It's just one candle, I believe, at 0 actually. So I wouldn't even consider this island valid. So negative, right? Low, higher low, negative, less negative, low on the RSI, higher on the RSI. Sold at 36.03. Again, nothing bullish, nothing bearish. Let's go to the 1 hour. Last thing we called was bullish. That was on the 18th. From then on, we climbed, and then we broke down, right? Here, look. I'm not even sure if here we're at the same height, but this would have been on the 20th in the morning. And I believe we were slightly lower. I think we're at the same height. So here we'll be going sideways, and here we'll be going in like this, right? I can't believe I missed this one here on Litecoin yesterday. On the 1 hour good. So again, we're creating bearish divergence. Just want to make sure this is a straight line, man. I'm tripping. Yeah, it is a straight line. And we're also moving lower on that RSI, right? So we would have been creating medium bearish divergence, action to downside again. And then on, we would have moved down, or we would expect them moving down. But again, it more than the technicals for Litecoin, Bitcoin moving us down, right? We're moving to the rhythms of Bitcoin. Look, we try to rally. Again, same divergence that Bitcoin created. Again, I told you, the market is in sync, right? One analysis fits most. That's what we're doing right now. We become manufacturers of same technical analysis for all cryptos, man. Again, same divergence, getting that pump, breaking at the 20, moving farther down. Here we still have divergence. Luckily enough, right? Like 22, 16, right? On the RSI, we don't have it. We're definitely going much lower. But here we would still have that divergence against the MACD, and we got that bullish pump. But again, failing near the 20 and starting to move down right now. Not the best. We're probably going to move again down if Bitcoin moves down. That's it. Neutral on the RSI, 41.59. I think it's one of the coins that is holding probably the best relative strength right now. All of them are sold except Litecoin. Binance. Dominance. Yesterday lost 0.39. Today gaining 0.64. Sitting at 1.02% of market cap. The price of Binance at $16.10. Where do we move? Below the 20. Was it a violent move? No. 80 cents, 82 cents, I would say in total, right? Still higher high than the previous one. Sadly, we just had very short-lived positive momentum. And we're higher on the RSI. Neutral at 48.75. Nothing on the daily. Let's go to the 4 hour. Again, the 4 hour. We're calling this bearish. We move down, hit this area, get a bounce. That's good. Made more positive momentum than back here. This is 569. We even looked at this. This is the highest we got was 589. So 569, 589, slightly higher. So we weren't creating divergence. Then we moved down because Bitcoin moved down and hit this area support, bounced, and Bitcoin kept us moving down. Basically, that's it. We don't have anything here. Higher again, also higher on the RSI. Right now we're making negative momentum. Where are we at? We're creating hidden bullish, right? Again, across the market. Across the market, this is happening, right? Incredible, man. All cryptos look the same. I don't think we have this happening. I do believe it would be really weird if the stock market all moved the same way all the time, right? I mean, this has been in sync for, I can't remember how many days we've been saying that everything's moving to the rhythm of Bitcoin, man. But again, hidden bullish potential area for a retrace to happen. Let's wait and see how it keeps on playing out. It is 11, so we're starting to burn a new candle, a new 4-hour candle. Apparently we're moving up. That would mean or suggest that Bitcoin is probably trying to retrace a little bit. But we'll check that out in a second. Where are we at here? Going lower again. 652, 759. So more negative momentum, more on the RSI. So again, even though from here to here we're probably creating that divergence still, right? That bullish divergence that the rest of the market had as well. Right? All coins had this. Played out for none of them, sadly enough. So again, try to get the bounce and failed and move lower, right? More negative momentum. We don't have anything. We're trying to bounce. Now here, high, lower high. Slightly more positive momentum. I'm not going to call anything here on this yet. Slightly higher on that RSI as well. So we could just say that we're going slightly lower here. And here we'll be going from 0 to here. And here we'll be going from here to here, right? Creating hidden bearish. Potential movement to the outside. Troy, how's it going, man? 9,400 soon. That's your next target. So you just placed the long, I guess. I'm not sure. Did you place a long or a short? I thought you say you were going to short at 9,020. Let me know in the chat. That's it for this. I'm going to go back, revisit Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still not up that much. 0.49%. Hitting the bounce. Where? At 8,900. We were talking about this right before we switched towers, right? Again, I'm not over positive until we get above the 20 and we start to get in climbing up those areas, right? That 9,500, that 9,650. Man, it's not looking really good for Bitcoin, man. Again, if we're unable to get up to these levels again, right? That 9,500 area here, right now, 9,600, 9,500, and even get above these 786, man. The 786 is going to be crucial for this. If we don't get above that, we're probably going to be screwed. Where are we at here? Again, bouncing at that 8,900, right? After looking at the charts, you cancel the short. Yeah. So you're hoping for a good bounce to come in, I guess, Troy. That's why you probably did. You put it. So I guess you opened the long. That said, you're targeting 9,400. Anyways, yeah, Spotify ads, man. Dude, I really took a long time with the news today, man. Sorry about that rambling and that ranting, but you know, a lot of people promising too many things out there. Awesome. Let's see how this goes, man. I'm not too confident yet. Let's wait and see how this keeps on playing out, right? Again, we hit the measure move. We're trying to get that bounce to come in. That's all good, man. That's all good here with Bitcoin, right? It's a 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart. I'll get this to show also on the 1 hour. And I'm going to move on to look at other stuff also right now. So, if you guys want to look at other crypto stuff, put it in the chat. We'll look at it. If you guys like what we do, hit that like, that bell, and that sub. That way you'll be notified when we go live with the bell, right? And I'm going to look real quick. We're getting above 9,000, 9,016, man. I'm not sure how much profit you made below 9,020, but we're still below it, so you probably took a little bit of profit on your short, maybe. I'm not sure if it was enough to cover some of the rates, but anyways, let's go look at gold and silver real quick. What's happening with those assets, right? Silver, what did we move? Down on what? Divergence. We call that out. We say it wouldn't be weird if we come and touch that 618, right? At 16.09. So we're heading for the area. Gold, 1,760. Where we bounced the 20. We knew it was a potential area. We even talked about maybe coming down here and revisiting 1,704. But again, getting a good bounce here. Again, let's wait for this to keep on playing out. We do have bearish divergence, even on the RSI for gold. Let's look at real quick at the stocks, right? S&P down 23 points on divergence. Nikkei down 42 points on divergence. Toronto down, following the rest of the markets, I would say, and hitting the 20, getting a bounce there. A bounce at the 20 could potentially bring in higher prices. We're getting a lot of tightness off the Bollinger Bands on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and also on the Nikkei we're a little bit more expanded, and On the S&P, we're also a little bit more expanded. On Toronto, we're very, very tight. Now, on London Stock Exchange, we're extremely expanded. We created divergence, action to the downside. We have not been able to really pump that much. Lost 20 points, even though we have a green candle. That means we opened down on the day and then we moved up, but not enough to cover the previous day. Now, let's go on to the Dow. What's happening with the Dow? Down 181 points, man. The US 30 went down yesterday, probably by the time it opened, right? And we were going slightly higher. And I told you guys, if this goes down, we're probably going to open and move however this market opened, when the Dow opens. And we're moving down still today. So tomorrow, if this keeps on going down, we're probably going to open down. And then we'll fight and see if we're going to move on higher on the Dow or still move farther down. What is happening with the other stuff, man? What's happening with oil? Brent, down. Not a lot, but down a little bit, right? 3%. Less than Bitcoin for sure. But that's today, though. Oil also down on this chart. Wide on divergence. We talked about this. West Texas down on divergence. We talked about this, right? Happening. That's it for this stuff, I guess. I'm going to go back to Bitcoin real quick. See if I didn't miss anything. Okay, cool. So here we had a bearish engulfing candle. I just think I didn't call it a bearish engulfing candle. I just moving down. That's it. Again, an engulfing candle happens when one of your candles, let's say we have this green candle here. This candle moves and hits that candle and still obviously goes farther down, right? That would be an engulfing candle. That's a bearish sign. I'm worried right now that we can make 3 black crows, right? If this goes down some more, we have another large-ish bar, we could have a 3 black crow pattern. That's usually a bearish pattern. That would potentially mean that we still might see even lower prices, right? I haven't talked about chart patterns a lot lately. I used to do it a lot before, hunt for the morning stars or the evening stars, and hunt for like the hammers and the, tweezer bottoms and tweezer tops and all this stuff. Right now, I just haven't been doing that lately. I've just been more focused on market motion and movements and bounces that we could get. I mean, it all adds up in the end. I just haven't seen many, right? Here, I mean, it's not even a tweezer top. One of them is slightly lower. We didn't hit that same high, right? On the wick. And we also haven't gotten real good tweezer bottoms either. And we haven't gotten any stars lately also, right? Which are a little bit weirder to see on the crypto market, because we rarely gap down from one opening to the next. And before it started to happen, if you guys already know this, sorry, but before it started to happen, let me do this and see if you let me move. All right, before it started to happen, you would need to have your one of your bars here. Doesn't matter. Let's say there's a green bar. Then you would have your next doji would probably gap up a little bit and have that, and then your next doji would be red. It doesn't matter how big it is. But again, that would be an evening star. Then your morning star would look like this, but opposite, right? And that would be a bullish sign. That would mean that market could be going up, and that is a reversal pattern that we'll be looking for in trading. Again, it doesn't happen a lot here on crypto, unfortunately, because the market, since we don't have breaks in the market like with the stock markets, where we stop trading, is just 24 hours continuous. We usually just move like straight across, right? And sometimes we get them, sometimes we do get gaps, but most of the times we don't get them, right? Anyways, what do you guys want to look at? Let me know on the chat. We'll probably look at DVT right now because I just have some of that. Someone twisted my arm into buying some. No, I'm kidding. The project seems good right now, so what the hey, right? Why not get some? DVT, where's it at, man? 52. I got in at 50. Right, 5.0. Right now, it's sitting at 5.2, 5.5. So I'm still getting a good profit right now. Not a lot, but not looking to cancel my position. We have moved to like 5.1. But again, not too worried, right? I got in here prior to this movement down, I think. And then starting going up, right? So again, that's it. I do believe. I saw on the chat that they said that this project is holding its value. But again, if you trade it out to Bitcoin, it is holding against Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin goes down, that means your money's going down, right? It is holding against Bitcoin. It's not losing value against Bitcoin, but it is losing value against the dollar because as a result of you holding it against Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down and this remains the same, that means that Bitcoin and this are in sync, or pegged to one another to a certain extent. Then you're still losing money because Bitcoin is losing money. So I would say it is holding value against Bitcoin, but it's not holding value against the dollar, right? That would be my assessment for this, because it hasn't switched a lot against Bitcoin. Anyways, yeah, what else do you guys want to talk about? Let me know here, man, on the chat. I'm here for you. Yeah, any questions? Anything you guys want to look at? Let me know. If you like what we do, you know what to do. Hit that like, that bell, and that sub. In a couple seconds, also, I'll put out the Twitter link so you guys can check it out. And go join me there if you haven't. We're live on Twitter. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, man, I cannot thank you enough, guys, for your support. It has been amazing, the growth we've gotten in the past couple of weeks. I told you earlier on another stream that we were stagnant at around, I think it was like 175 to 190 area of subs, and we couldn't break above 200, man, until one awesome stream. I think when Bitcoin pumped, and we finally got that awesome stream where we broke 200, and since then, since those days of that pump to right now, we have gained 13 more subscribers. And you guys are amazing for doing that, right? You guys are awesome for subscribing to this channel and helping with that, right? Those subscriptions mean a lot to me. Particularly because I'm trying to get the channel to grow, right? So again, thank you guys for joining me and becoming part of this channel. And again, thank you very much for that, right? Just trying to look at when we got the Bitcoin pump. I think it was back here, man. It was like on the 7th, or maybe this pump it was that got us a lot of people in. Maybe I can't remember. Maybe it was around the 14th, and then we just got a lot of subscribers lately, man. But thank you guys for that. You guys are awesome. So I guess there's no more questions coming up. I think I might just end the stream. Thank you guys for showing up here to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news and technical analysis, I guess, also. Yeah, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure being here with you guys tonight on this awesome Thursday night. I hope you're really, really enjoying your week. I hope you're having a good time trading, buying, hodling, longing, shorting, whatever you guys want to do. Have a good strategy. Have a sound strategy. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, I really appreciate each and every one of you. I wish you the best. Bitcoin Jack, I think, is going to crash. I think I'm probably going to go eat dinner right after this and probably crash right after. Thank you for being here. I'll catch you tomorrow for another edition of the State of Crypto. Until then.